Match reaction, Brentford 3, Manchester United 1. Your reaction to that game?
I have to be the most deluded Manchester United fan to believe in this team, to believe in this manager. The Brentford manager is an inexperienced manager in the Premier League. He changed his tactics and he outwitted Ruben Amorim like everyone else has done. I just cannot believe in this team and this manager anymore. I am absolutely shocked.
I'm deflated myself. I just don't even know what to make of it. Before the game, though, us and many of you out there went into this one with optimism, trying to make it back-to-back wins. But again, we see a team that lacks aggression from minute one.
Well, minute one, there was no aggression. There was no nothing. Where was the work rate? Where was the fight? It was absolutely, after 9 minutes, they scored a goal. I was shocked. But what I was shocked at, what was Harry Maguire playing a high line for? Why is Ruben Amorim playing Harry Maguire that far up the pitch, right, who can't run back? Absolutely. I looked at them United fans there. Their faces were in shock. And then it got worse when the second goal went in. And that moment, I turned round to Kieron and I just said, he's gone. That manager just does not know what he's doing. He sat there on the sideline saying nothing when I'd watched absolute garbage. The team wasn't performing, wasn't working together, wasn't passing, wasn't running, passing the ball back. It was utter garbage, and I believed that this team was going to go to Brentford. I need a doctor or a psychiatrist if I turn round and say I believe that this team will turn round, because there is not a chance I've seen any evidence. And the sideline, the people on the sideline, right, tells me that. They look as though they haven't got a clue what to do.
I mean, you look at Brentford from 2 years ago, you know, in my point of view, they've downgraded on the manager that they used to have. In the attacking areas, what they used to have with the likes of Wissa, Ivan Toney and Mbumo. And you look over at Manchester United, we've improved with our manager and our attacking options, but we come out on a losing side today in getting beat 3-1.
Look, that manager, right, is a new kid on the block, as they say. That team is rebuilding. It's a poorer side than any Brentford side, right? Because it's just rebuilding. Now look at it and look at how them United players played. I don't know who played well for United. I just haven't got a clue. You know, United got a goal back, okay, in that first half. They scrambled it. But you look at Sesko throughout the game, especially that second half. Where was the momentum to give him the ball? Where was the crosses? Absolutely. Some players there. Look at Delo. Look at Delo. People have criticised me for going on about Delo. I look at their second goal. Where was he? Delete, yeah. You can have a little go at Delete. But watch again. Watch what Delo does. Watch what he does all game. He never went forward. Very rarely did. And when that second goal came, he was trotting. The man was useless. The only thing I remember Delo doing for about 80 minutes was taking 2 throw-ins. The man is rubbish. He's a squad player, and he's out there, and he was doing nothing, but he's not the only one. Kuna, time and time again, especially in that first half, keeping the ball, greedy. The second half, he was anonymous, like they all were. The manager made changes today, and every time you make a change, you expect something different. It got worse. It just got worse. I know people might think I'm shouting or whatever, but I'm pointing out I haven't got a clue what was going on there. I've got a bit of a scream from United's point of view. We got the penalty. You tell me how that player's not been sent off, how they didn't decide that was a goal-scoring opportunity. I just don't understand that. But hey, that's just a little bit in United's favour. I didn't see anything. I didn't see any encouragement. There was nothing there. Again, I have to say it. Them United fans' faces told you everything you need to know about this manager and this team out there today. Now, I'm not saying this team can't put in a performance going forward, but I'm looking at today, and I was shocked. And I must really be the most deluded person thinking that United can do something this year.
You talk about being deluded, though. You're going in at half-time 2-1. You're expecting a response from the team coming out into the second half. And it was just the same, though. I mean, Brentford actually could have gone 3-1 up before we got that penalty with Thiago, but it was a great save by Bayinde, I think it was.
Listen, Bayinde's pulled off some really good saves today. You can't knock him for that. You know, 1 or 2 positional plays, you know, you can question it. But listen, I thought to myself, Brentford really should have been way ahead well before they did. I thought that first half, they were the more dominant. They were the ones who was going forward, attacking, running at United. You know, you look at the second half, nothing changed. Nothing changed. I'm shocked at it. But how many poor performances was out there? I thought Bruno was poor all game. The penalty was poor from him by his standards. But then after the penalty miss, I thought he gave up. It looked to me as though he was walking round. You know, I expected Mainu. I mean, when Mainu come on a sub, he gave a little bit and then he went out of it. It's as though the players gave up. Kuna just disappeared off the game. And Mbeumo had a poor game. His crosses was poor. But he didn't get helped. You know, there was no one overlapping him like Delo should have been doing. You know, but it was a poor game all round. I just can't believe it.
Yeah, but isn't the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and again and expecting a different result when he keeps on putting Bruno in that centre midfield area, which we all know isn't Bruno's best position, constantly changing the back three today. I mean, how many times was that changed today? And he keeps on doing it.
He keeps on doing it, and it is insanity. You keep doing the same thing, and you're right, Kieran. It is insanity. So what's the answer? Well, the answer is if he keeps doing it, and clearly he's going to keep doing it, right? Everyone will be out there screaming, get this manager out.
And I've got to say, though, just to add to that with Bruno and the back three, we went and bought a brand new goalkeeper. It's the 3rd game in and he's not started him. And I admit with you there a couple of times, he pulled off some good saves today by Inde. But you've got to look at the second goal for me. You've got to look at the 3rd goal, especially. The ball went into the middle of the net. When's the new goalkeeper getting a chance?
The other goalkeeper, I always said he should have come straight in. And whatever happened. You know, it's pressure at Manchester United. Every game's pressure. Well, the goalkeeper should be up for it. He signed for Man United. Straight in. Everyone else seems to come straight in unless they're injured, because we do sign players what are injured. You remember that one. You know, we keep doing that. You know, insanity again. But for me, I just didn't see anything. I thought Dorgu spent half the time on the floor. I think Luke Shaw was absolutely poor today. Yeah. There was no link-up play with him and Dorgu. There was no link-up play with Delo and Mbeumo. I thought in the first half, Sesko, few good touches. And then they just lost the game. They just lost. I don't even think they know what they were doing. And I'm not even too sure if I know what I'm saying, because I've gone insane. Yeah. I've gone insane watching that. I'm not happy with that. No one can be happy with that. You know, and for anyone to turn around and say that manager's got to go because we're not seeing any changes, he's getting worse, I can't argue with that. But that manager will go when the men in suits say he'll go. But that's not helped him, and I don't see what's helped him going forward, because it is insanity what we're watching. We're spending all this money on good players. We've got an attack there on paper, but you don't win anything on paper, and they're doing nothing. The midfield's doing nothing. They're set up wrong, right? And he keeps making the changes what don't make sense. Well, something has to change. How's it going to change? I ask you that. How's it going to change? And everyone will scream. Well, you change the style, you change the system. Well, how do you do that? Well, you get rid of the manager because he's not going to change. You can't accept that. I can't accept it no longer. You know.
The thing is, before that Chelsea game, we looked at the 3 games coming up, Chelsea, Brentford and Sunderland. We always said that it would be the Brentford game and the Sunderland game, which we are going to judge him on. Forget the Chelsea game, much better team than Manchester United. But Brentford, you expect to go here today, regardless of form, and win that game.
It's got nothing how you've been playing or anything. You go to Brentford with a manager what's not with little experience, with a team what's going through changes and everything. You look at each player we've got, you've got to go there and say, we're going to win. We're going to win. We had a great battling performance against Chelsea. Good side, Chelsea. Some people are critical of Chelsea. But overall, the game was a fighting game. They all worked hard. They all fought. Where was that today? Where was the fight today? Where was the link-up play? There was none. And I mean, there was none by anybody. Absolutely anybody. 11 players what started that game was absolutely shocking. And the highest mark I can give is probably 3, maybe 4 out of 10 for any individual. They were shocking as shocking can be because of the opposition and the manager. The manager outwitted Manchester United, but it was easy to do. The Grimsby manager, it was 1 in the bank. Now we've got 2 in the bank. Now every manager has been doing it. And it's clear to see. It's clear. It's clear. I am upset. I am angry. I'm also like gone. I'm gone at the game here, right? And I'm angry, right? And there's probably a few things I might regret saying. But let me tell you something. Not one Man United fan can explain to me how we're going to change it round. Because I don't know. I've watched United all my life. I've seen different managers who just haven't got a clue and turn things round. This manager's not turned. What did you see him on the sideline? We was 2-0 down. At 1-0 down, he didn't get off the bench. He didn't. But we all knew. We was watching the game until they scored. We was watching it and we knew nothing was happening. It was poor. It was slow. Back passes, square passes and everything. We knew that and the manager never did anything. And then at 2-0 he never did anything. What's going on?
These players are much better than what they're showing, though, in inconsistent performances like they are doing, though, surely. I mean, you look at the team and the squad compared to Brentford and Manchester United. Manchester United have a much better squad, surely you can agree with that. So what does it actually come down to? Is it down to the players themselves? Should they be taking more responsibility? Or is this purely down on the manager's shoulders that he doesn't know what he's doing and other managers are consistently, tactically outwitting him? Like you say, Grimsby, now an inexperienced manager today in Andrews.
Look, the back 3, I've said it. Yoro, Delit, Shaw. Okay? Simple as. They've been working well together. And what does he do? He puts Maguire in there and he plays an eye line. Expose. What were Brentford doing? Free kicks, get the ball in there. Long ball, quickly get the ball up there. Bang, Maguire, gone. Simple as. Anyone can work that out. And that's what happened. The back 3. That's not the way to go. We keep getting exposed. You're seeing it today. You're not going to be consistent. You're not going to see good football. When your back 3 keeps getting changed and you've got someone so slow with Harry Maguire in there. That, Harry's done well to come back where he is. But to play an eye line, Harry Maguire, okay, in 2025, I'm sorry, but you haven't got a clue as a manager if you think that's going to work. I've had enough.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm the most optimistic person out there, along with you and some of yous out there, that Manchester United can go into every game and get a win, but I'm absolutely shot on the floor after that performance. I've got to admit, I've seen no positives there today, other than maybe Sesko getting on the score sheet. But in that second half, anonymous again, just not good enough. Any tactical changes from the manager, again, not good enough in trying to influence the game. Big talking point, though, was Bruno missing that penalty. Just maybe if that did go in, it might have swung in our favour where we go and get a winner. But things like that, if they don't turn out your way, you've then got to find other opportunities and other ways in getting back into the game. And we never look like doing that.
We didn't deserve a win. And I don't know how we're going to get a win. Sunderland game is absolutely massive. But it won't change the situation with the manager. And that system. You get 3 points against Sunderland, great, but it won't change what we're watching. Thanks for watching.
No, bang on there today. I'm frustrated, absolutely done in. My head's battered. I've got to be honest with you. Get your thoughts and opinions in that comment section and smash that like button as well to help support the channel. We'll be back on Monday, hopefully, if we've recovered from this result. Take care. Thank you.